Jackson 16 WAPT News begins with breaking news.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Erin Pickens. Breaking right now, the Hinds County Emergency Management Agency is holding a news conference to give what they call a critical update on the flood stage of the Pearl River. We take you to it now.
Emergency Management Director, we brought you here to give you an update on the Pearl River and the reservoir conditions. I'm going to let Mr. Sigmund come first and address what's going on with the situation up there, and then we'll take questions after everybody speaks. So, Mr. Sigmund.
I'm John Sigmund. I'm the General Manager of Barnett Reservoir. We've got some news for you today. This morning we got improved inflow forecast to the lake from the National Weather Service. Those inflow forecasts were significantly higher than what we've been experiencing or what we were expecting. And that was due to an unprecedented amount of rain that occurred last night. It was 2 inches totally across the basin on top of all the rain that we've had. That rainfall was not expected, and now we have it to deal with. The lake is in a good condition. It's low right now. We're going to take off the excess water that we can, and we will fill the lake. We will use every bit of capacity in the lake to attenuate this flood as it goes downstream. That means that we will be storing something on the order of 20 to 25,000 cubic feet per second in the lake. I can only do that for a couple of days. So what we will do is we've ramped the discharge up to 60,000 cubic feet per second now, and we will hold that for a couple of days, fill the lake, and at that time we're going to have to increase the discharges. That is going to give anyone who needs to prepare for a flood a couple of days to do it. If we increase discharges right now, they won't be able to get into the streets because they'll be flooded. It's projected by the Weather Service that the river will go to 38 feet. That's the third highest level of record. If you had a flood problem in '83, you can expect one with this flood. As I said, we will fill the lake. It will take all the capacity it has, and then we will have to start releasing water. Depending on the amount of rain we get Tuesday and Wednesday, impacts how much we will have to release.
Thank you, John. We hear from the Weather Service, and then we hear from the Mayor, City of Jackson.
My name is Marty Pope, Senior Service Hydrologist at the National Weather Service here in Jackson. A line of heavier rainfall than expected of from 2 to 3 inches fell across Hinds and Rankin County, northeastward up into the Pearl River Basin. That particular rainfall amount was the heaviest in the entire state. So we had in the original forecast a half an inch to an inch, which occurred most everywhere else. It's just that one particular area, it occurred all at the same time, 2 to 3 inches there. Inflow forecasts in the reservoir are expected in excess of 90,000 cubic feet per second. After coordination calls with the Pearl River Water Supply District and other federal and state agencies, we did make that critical forecast decision to go to 38 feet. Like that, this is the highest flood since the May 5th, 1983 flood that occurred that was actually 39.58 feet. I'm going to let you speak to I'm going to let our morning coordination meteorologist Felicia talk about our issues for next week. Because next week we actually have another system coming in.
Good afternoon. I'm Felicia Bowles. I'm the morning coordination meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Jackson. So just looking a little bit at our forecast through next week, a much cooler and drier air mass has settled across the area, which will result in no rainfall today through Saturday for the most part. We could even see temperatures dip into the middle 20s to lower 30s late Friday night into Saturday morning, so it's going to get a little chilly there. However, we are going to see a return to wet conditions starting on Sunday, though rainfall looks to be mainly south of I-20 on Sunday. However, by next week, we're going to see several rounds of rainfall that will occur throughout the week, setting us up for another wet period, unfortunately. At this time, the system providing this rainfall looks to be rather progressive, i.e., they will be moving fairly quickly, and thus the amount of rainfall looks to be on the lighter side at this time. That's very important at this time. However, what the amount rainfall that we're expecting as of late, it has been overachieving more so than what we thought. In other words, we are receiving rainfall a little bit higher than what the computer models originally predicted. So we're going to have to keep a real close eye and analyze the computer models as we near next week's several rounds of rainfall. In regards to the severe weather potential that's for next week, there is a chance of severe weather with some of the multiple rounds of rainfall. There's just some uncertainty as to what kind of severe weather that we're going to see. It's a little bit too far out right at this time for us to project the exact hazardous weather conditions that we might see for next week. So we're going to keep a close eye on that as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, and I'd like to express my gratitude for the team that is working to address the severe weather that we are threatened by at this time. There are a number of things that I would like to caution the Jackson residents about. First, I want to continue to urge the citizens to take caution, prepare ahead of time if you live in low-lying areas. Stay out of floodwaters. Once again, turn around. Do not drown. Do not remove any barricades. They are there for your safety, and they may be covering areas that you do not know the depth of and could possibly drown in. Sandbags will be available today until 5 p.m. this evening, and again tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. at 4225 Michael Avalon Street. Do not drive or walk in floodwaters. Again, floodwaters can carry debris, which can be contaminated with harmful chemicals, rodents, biohazards, etc. Keep kids and pets out of the floodwaters as well. If you live in upper northeast Jackson towards the river, you need to consider evacuating by Saturday and make plans to be away from your home for potentially 3 to 4 days. Residents in need of assistance getting out of their homes need to let us know as soon as possible by calling 311. If you do not leave by Saturday and live in one of the low-lying areas, you may not be able to get out to the road. The roads may be impassable. I would like to express to the citizens that we do not take this warning for granted. I know in recent weeks we have shared with you a number of concerns over the flood waters. Some of those concerns did not manifest as dangerously as we may have projected them possibly doing so. So I don't want people to assume that this circumstance is like past circumstances. We come before you because there is serious concern over the water levels and the threat to life and property. Please take this precaution seriously. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Now we hear from Supervisor Calhoun in Hinds County, and then the County Administrator, Ms. Collins.
Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm very saddened to be here because in such a dire situation. Now we are going to thank the reservoir people for what they have been doing to hold the water back. We want you to hold back as much as you can, and we want the people to evacuate as soon as they can because it is very dangerous when you have flood waters. I can say that the staff of Hinds County is available. Just give us a call at the Hinds County, and we will do all that we can to assist anybody that's involved in a situation that they can't handle. So give us a call. And now our administrator from Hinds County.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Raleigh Collins. I'm the Hinds County Administrator. Hinds County and all of the local governments will work together to ensure that the citizens of our area are taken care of. But we need the citizens of the metro area to be responsive, to pay attention, and to prepare. Prepare now. We do not know what will happen over the next 2 days, but now is the time to prepare. Please heed all that has been said. turn around, don't drown, be careful. But now is the time to prepare in case of an emergency evacuation is dictated. Again, Hinds County is here to take care of its citizens and to work with our partners to make sure that our citizens are prioritized.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Now I'd like Director Michelle to come up from MEMA and address the concerns with the state.
Thanks, Ricky. You've already heard this is a serious situation. We just talked about this a couple of days ago. The main thing is to not hope this away. The mayor mentioned about the homes that are going to be located in Northeast Jackson and areas that have not seen this much water in a while. We'll be posting out on the MEMA website later today a link that individuals can go to. There are a lot of people that are going to be affected by this that were not here when the waters were this high before. You may not even know if your home is in danger of being affected by this water. This link, you'll be able to go out and you can actually populate the flood inundation areas at 36 feet and 38 feet. We are projecting those levels. You've heard those levels where they're going to be, but you don't need to take chances. If your home is in one of these shaded or affected areas when it's very easy to use and you click on that area, then you need to be making preparations to find an alternate place to stay until this water recedes. Preparations have been made by the state. Today at 2 p.m. we'll be having a crisis action team meeting. I can assure you that resources not only that are available to me but are available in the neighboring counties will be made available to the mayor, to Ricky Moore, and to all the officials in the affected areas. With regard to evacuations, with regard to search and rescue, water rescues, whatever the case may be, the resources will be there. That'll be at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and will remain on site over the weekend and be monitoring this very closely.
Now we'll hear from Brian Grantham from Rankin County.
Good afternoon. We just want to let the citizens of Rankin County know that we're watching this intently and we're ready to respond to any emergency that may happen. We'll be working closely with the city of Flowood, the city of Pearl, and the city of Richland to see if there's any assistance that they need. The Rankin County Emergency Operations Center will be asking the Rankin County Board of Supervisors to declare a local emergency tomorrow at the regularly scheduled board meeting. As always, do not drive through the roadways that are flooded. If there are barricades up, leave them up. And that was mentioned in a previous press conference, do not let your children play in flood waters. The water can be very swift. It looks harmless, safe, but it's not. And as always, we will update as often as possible through our social media, which is Facebook and Twitter, at Rankin EOC.
I neglected to mention that we will have a long-term shelter available at the Police Training Academy. And so those that are in need of utilizing that shelter will not only have accommodations for people to rest, but there are showers there as well. And so I wanted to make that clear that that is one of the long-term shelters that we are opening up. Thank you.
Mayor White, you got something to say?
I think we've all said what we need to do. I'll get out there and start with it.
All right, come on.
Good evening. I know that a lot of information has kind of hit you at once, but I just kind of want to reiterate a couple things. Number one, the link that was provided through MEMA. If you live in an area that is low lying or up in Northeast Jackson, I would advise you to get on that link and determine exactly where you are. Also, to make sure that you, once you figure out where you are, make sure that you can get to your belongings, understand your information from your insurance companies and so forth. Make sure that all that information is available to you once you leave your structure. In the next 48 hours, a lot is going to happen. There's going to be a lot of moving parts, and we're going to try and get as much information to you as possible. But we just want you to be cautious. Once this occurs and once the river rises, it won't be any turning back. And so once you make a determination to leave, our Public Works Department is going to be on call Saturday to basically block off these areas for access. That's for your safety and for the safety of people that will be entering the area. And so we'll be working very diligently to do that, but we just want you to be cautious of the next 48 hours. Pay attention to the news media, the press releases, and so forth, but make sure that you take advantage of that link and determine exactly where you are so you can make the right preparations. This is something that we have been basically kind of been going through the past couple of weeks, but now it's here and it's for real. And so we don't want people to be complacent or brush it off, but take this as very serious as possible, that once these flood waters rise, there's going to be no access back to these structures. There are a lot of streets that are going to be inundated with water, and so you're just going to have to make preparations over the next couple of days to find alternate shelter. But please adhere to these warnings. This is not an exercise. This is for real. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Supervisor Jones?
We're good.
Okay,
We're
thank
going
you.
to cover everything.
All right. Okay.
I'll finish now. Once again, I stated that the long-term shelter will be at the Police Training Academy. That address, for those that are unaware, is 3000 St. Charles Street, 39209. 3000 St. Charles Street. The Police Training Academy will be available for long-term shelter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We weren't expecting this morning, so we've been working real fast to get this press conference, get the information out to the public. Like Charles said, this is real. This is not a drill this time. If you were in the 83 flood, which was 39.5, those residents, no matter what side of the river you're on, you need to be prepared to leave your residence by this weekend. Get out. Now we will ask if you have any questions.
Ricky, how many homes will be flooded at 38 feet?
We're running numbers on that now. The Hines Rankin Levy Board is running it. It was over 500 for Rankin and Hines County. They're trying to break that down. It's like 400 plus. We know probably for Hines County, but they're breaking that down. They said they'd have that in about 2 hours.
Is there another way for people to know what streets? I know you all said a link, but what if people don't have access to a link? Is there a better way for them to know if they're in those areas?
Well, we provided a list at the press conference 2 days ago. We'll still provide where you can put that on your TV stations or in your paper, a list of those streets that are affected at up to 39 feet.
And is there any other counties that will be assisting residents with places to go? I know Jackson said they had a place. Rankin County.
I'm confident that the Red Cross will also activate shelters, emergency shelters. I know that Jackson Revival Center's multipurpose center is one of those shelters that the Red Cross would activate. And so if the Red Cross activates, there will be a number of shelters around the metro area, and we'll make sure that that information is available to you as well.
Mayor, do you know how many homes will be affected in Northeast Jackson, and why are you not mandating, forcing people to evacuate?
We are. We're issuing an evacuation order today for this area. Well, that's what we're here for. We're asking that you leave, because we can't make people leave.
Asking to order.
Ordering it. We're ordering the mayor can order an evacuation. We recommend that he do that, and that's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing today, is ordering that evacuation and those affected homes that will flood up to 39 feet.
Is there a specific list of streets and areas that we need to evacuate now? I mean, Northeast Jackson, near the river, is there a list of streets, for example?
Yes, we have that list.
Okay, and that's on the NEMA website?
No, we'll give you a hard copy of that list today.
Great, thank you.
Does it still require a response from me?
What happens if they don't heed the order to evacuate?
Then we make best efforts to encourage them through other means to do so. I make these type of decisions based on the information that is provided to me. The information, the good work of all the people that you see in front of you, the emergency manager for the county, and also the city engineer keeps me informed. And so those timelines are established by the information that we're receiving. And as other things may be important to detail to the citizens, we will inform them as we receive the information with post haste as soon as we possibly can.
Is that order in effect now? The evacuation order, is that in effect now?
Yes.
Yes, that is in effect.
Do we know how long this water could hang around?
Wow. No. Depending on the amount of rainfall, Tuesday and Wednesday could extend it, but it's going to be a long, slow curve. It's going to be here at least a week.
So the crest will remain at 38 feet for at least a week. The river.
The crest, the 38-foot crest is predicted to occur Sunday morning. It will remain in that range for several days, and then it will slowly descend, depending on the amount of rain that comes in.
Thank you, John. John and his group, the Corps Engineer, Weather Service, worked really hard on these numbers this morning to get the 38-foot river. He's going to, and I think he mentioned it, the reservoir is going to be full. He has no capacity. So we get hard rains Monday and Tuesday, that's got to come straight through. There's no way to hold it. He has no capacity to keep any more water with just a 38-foot river.
Is anyone monitoring the levees near the Pearl, the levees at the rise?
Yes, we continuously monitor our dam. We have an inspector, school-trained inspector on staff who's monitoring it twice a day now, and it'll increase as the level goes up in the lake. The dams through Jackson, I can't answer that question. I don't know.
I can speak to it. I'm a member of the Rankin-Hines Levee Board, and earlier this week, Monday, in fact, the report was that the levees appear to be in solid condition. There are minimal concerns that have been addressed, and so the report from the engineers is that they believe. I don't stand, as an engineer, but I'm just sharing with you the information that was provided to us.
Ricky, at a much lower level, the area downtown, south of downtown is impacted, Hightower. At 38 feet, how far does the water encroach into downtown, other parts of downtown?
You will have water in the curbs, Southwest Street. You may even see it go across Southwest Street down there at the Hightower area. Those homes were lifted after 79 when a federal program picked them up above the 79 flood. So those homes won't be impacted, but they won't be able to go anywhere. You will have 2 and 3 foot of water in those streets down there. So they probably need to consider, especially if they have any kind of special needs, that they may need to move also.
People remember Capitol Street being flooded in 1979, the fairgrounds. Are we looking at anything approaching that?
Well, we went and looked at some of the pictures. The work was done on the Fortification Street levee. There was a valve put in there that's got to be turned off today to keep that water from getting into the fairgrounds. It flooded then at that height, but it's not supposed to flood now. It didn't flood in 83. So that's what we're using, is that data. Is in 83 it didn't flood, so we shouldn't flood the fairgrounds this time. But there's nothing going to keep that water from backing up from Town Creek, Lynch Creek, Purple Creek, all those creeks that flow into the river. There's nothing that's going to keep those roads from getting some water in them at 38 feet. You'll see some water in downtown Jackson. What other questions?
You don't know where specifically you will see the water.
Do what now?
You don't know where specifically you will see the water in downtown.
I don't have it on my mind right now, but I have it in writing where to be. I mean, I know where to be. You're going to see, you're already seeing a lot of water on the end of Westbrook Road. You're already seeing water probably in River Road in northeast Jackson. You're already seeing water in the Southwest Street area behind some of the businesses. You'll see water in the Irby's welding shop down there. You'll see some of the businesses that can't get to their business because of water. So 38 feet is very critical for us. We didn't want to go over 36 feet, and John knows that, but can't help it. 36 was our magic figure that we didn't want to get over. So you can see we went over that substantially.
Ricky, how concerned are you about the profile of the flood changing in these 37 years, that it won't take maybe as much water now to do certain damage as it did in 83 and 79?
Well, you want to talk about the profile, about the river changing, and we're seeing a little bit better profile.
Well, as far as the river goes itself, the channel itself is actually more efficient right now. And we're double checking that because the Corps of Engineers, as well as the United States Geological Survey, is actually going out and measuring how much water's coming through down the river right now at the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. So they're trying to get that idea. We're trying to make sure there has not been a shift since what happened, since the flooding last week. So we want to make sure that has not changed. But as far as, saying so, whether inside the city or not, whether there's been any subsidence or anything like that, that area is going to be some unknown areas that you may not know about. So those, as far as, we're talking about what, 35, 40 years ago, there could be some changes that we may not have seen since then. So.
Yeah. For a little bit of clarity. So the mayor is ordering evacuations out of the areas of Northeast Jackson that are affected by, will be affected.
Yes, there will be an ordered evacuation in effect.
Now, will the city be assisting in that evacuation? Will any people have assistance being taken out of their homes?
Yes, we have asked that individuals who need assistance to get out of their home, that they call into the 311 service. So that we can be informed where you are, what your needs are, so that we can meet those needs. The police department will help as need be.
Do we have a timeline on that, when that'll start, or will that be street by street as they're impacted?
We'll follow up with that. I don't want to deliver poor information to you in how we will execute that. We will work with our constituent service department to see how we will be doing that. But it will be in the areas that are at highest risk first.
Now, with some other areas in South and West Jackson, like Lynch Creek and the Camelot Apartments, obviously, is there flooding expected there, and is there no?
Those are typically flash flood.
Correct.
Flash flood areas, and any time we receive a lot of rain in a very short period of time, the threat is there. We will say that if in the event of a flash flood, if there is water remaining in the Pearl and everywhere else, then obviously it interferes with the ability for the water in those areas that you named to recede. But the threat for those areas are typically flash flood related. I do fine on that? All right.
So I just want to bring Hinds County Sheriff and Sheriff Deputy in, but I want to stress, and I understand we have a lot of speculation going on as to where the rain may or may not be. We're going to make sure that we work with our partners and get those street lists out, whether you have internet access or you got to dial into Hinds County and find out, or call into the helpline that the mayor talked about, the 311. We want to make sure that the citizens understand the importance of this warning, that now is the time to prepare so that you can evacuate, gathering up your important documents, making sure that our elderly and other infirms have their medicine with them. So I don't want us to get wrapped up, because we're trying to warn the citizens in what plan was made and what plan was laid. Let's make sure that our citizens get the information that they need so that we can make sure that they are taken care of and that they get out of the homes that will be impacted. And that is the priority information that we're going to make sure gets out of Hinds County into the citizens' hands.
Good afternoon, everyone. Captain Jones with the Hinds County Sheriff's Office. Of course, we will be working collectively with all agencies as it relates to assisting people that may need evacuation as well. We ask anyone that needs assistance from the Hinds County Sheriff's Office to please give us a call, let us know exactly where you are, and we will be able to assist you as well. Again, we're here to work collectively with the other agencies, and we will be monitoring this situation as well. Thank you.
Just one last thing. I think that it's important that we recognize that everything that's been shared with you today is based on the best professional judgment that these individuals can provide to you. And so based on their expertise, based on all of the research that they have done to date, this is why we are expressing the great concern that we are today. As it pertains to streets that will be affected, we will deliver that information to you and continue to do so based on the information that is coming in. There may be streets that change over time, depending on how conditions change. We know that weather is highly unpredictable, and so this is all based on the best professional judgment that can be offered at this time. Thank you.
Come on up, Jim. AMR would like to make a few statements.
Thank you, Ricky. I'm Jim Pollard with American Medical Response, the ambulance service for Hinds County and a number of other counties across the state, 20 altogether. I have prepared and distributed to a number of the reporters here today some material that I printed this morning from the CDC and the FEMA website, which has some extraordinarily specific and detailed checklists on what a family should do before, during, and after a flood to prepare their families, the humans, the building, the home itself, and their pets. And this goes into, as I said, an amazing amount of detail that our county administrator touched on some matters such as having medications in proper supply. There are so many other considerations such as when to turn off your utilities, and the materials that I'm providing media here today, I hope you'll be able to draw from them for your stories and for your postings online. Thank you.
And I'll say one other thing. You heard John say this is probably weak. When this water goes down, these people are still not going to be able to just go home and go to bed. You got to clean up. We'll have to do damage assessment. We'll have to gather all the numbers. There'll be a ton of debris out there from people cleaning out their houses. So this is going to be a process that will probably last the rest of the year on people fixing their houses, making them livable again, cleaning up where people put their debris out by the street. So this is going to be a long process. It's not going to be that these people are going to go home 7 days from today and go back to bed. It's not going to happen. So it's going to be a long-term process. Any more questions?